So the subject of what is the point? What is the point to life came up again recently, and it's been going round and round in my head, and I've had many arguments, and I can't even remember what I said in the last video. I'd have to listen to it again myself, but where I'm at now, the point to life, and I'm going to make it a short video, this one, is to master yourself. Mastering yourself is about learning who you are when you are on your own, in your own space. Learning to make videos like I'm doing right now. Learning to speak your truth about yourself, you, what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, what you would love to achieve in life, what you don't actually care about. It is in learning everything about yourself that is the point of life, actually. It's as simple as that. The simplicity that we complicate from this very process is in our conditioning, in having been born to a mother, a father, brothers, sisters, families, cousins, a life where you are taught how to achieve what it is that you need to achieve. You are taught, and your conditioning teaches you to eat the food you eat, behave the certain way, greet, don't greet, have manners, don't have manners, cook food, buy food. And as you go through life, as you grow, how often you shower in the morning, shower in the evening, wash yourself, don't wash yourself, just rinse off, wash this way, don't wash that way. You learn your likes and your dislikes by how others teach you, right? As a kid growing up, you enter the adult world and you're like, whoa, now I've got to face this all on my own, and you learn to become independent, and you're seeing what society does, and everybody at work does it this way, and everybody at school did it that way, and this is how my friends do it. If you are lucky enough to go to friends' houses and learn how other people live their lives, and you kind of take on behaviors, you learn behaviors from others. We learn by example, we teach by example, and we share, I suppose, by example. Everything is by example of what was projected upon us. Now, this projection upon us was through love, mostly, you would think, but however it was projected upon you, it was what you were taught. It is what you then learned to become. Now, there's another part of you. There is yourself. The soul that came into your body when you were being born is the other part of who you really are. Your soul wants to and yearns to be a part of your life. Your life is broken down into many facets. And you have a soul, but you have an ego. The ego, and there's many ways of explaining how the ego works. There's many people that have studied it, and you can Google it, you can YouTube it. People will tell you what the ego is all about, right? So whatever you learn about the ego can be tamed. The ego is a part of you. You can't live without it. Okay, as long as you're a human, you need to learn what your ego is about. You need to learn what your soul is about. You need to learn to understand who you are and where your soul and where your ego meet, how they work together, how they integrate, how you share your life, ego and soul together. Ultimately, if you want to live in light, you want to be good, you want to be true to yourself, your soul has brought itself into your body to help you do what you need to do in life. The soul, however, cannot survive without a human body. If you die, your soul leaves and it will find another host along the way. But the soul takes all your memories that come from your body. Okay? Your ego is here to challenge the soul. The ego that is part of the human body, apparently ego is only within a human or living being. And so there are ways to learn how to tame the ego, how to not operate from ego. And there are ways to learn how to work with your soul, how to train your soul, or your soul will train you ultimately, if you allow it to step in. So as it seems like I'm talking as if they're separate entities. They are not separate entities, but they're a part of yourself, right? The same thing goes with your human body and your soul. The fragment of soul that you have has been split. Now this is going to go deep and maybe people will drop off from here, but your soul has been split many, many, many times through every choice that you make in life. There's the sliding doors effect, the butterfly effect, the all sorts of whatever effects out there. And if you in this life choose to take a certain path, that part of that soul stays with you and you work together through this part of life. And every choice you make, there are splits. You know, there are many people out there and many healers, traditionalists, all of those people that will say we are of God, we are God. And as much as I'd like to say I am God, I am of God. I am an aspect of God, and we are all aspects of God. The bit of soul that operates within us is here on earth experiencing for God, for the Creator, for Source, for the great experiment, for whatever it is that we hear on earth. Now you can take the study further. You can drive yourself mad trying to find all the answers. I do drive myself mad. I ask a question. My husband goes crazy, says, come on, babes, you're actually like asking questions that are unanswerable. And I don't believe they're unanswerable, but I'm determined to find as many as I can in this lifetime. So that is what I have set out to do. However, we still walk this earth and we are still operating with people. We still have our families. We have our husbands, our children, our brothers, our sisters, everybody that we're living with, our pets, our dogs, our cats, our passions, our focus on whatever it is that we're focusing on. But where I'm going with what I'm saying is that we are here, all of us, for a purpose to grow and to become, to learn how to be in our becoming of. But part of the being and becoming is learning to remember why it is that we are here, without killing ourselves and hurting ourselves in the process to try and remember. I'm not sure how many of you have heard and learned about the frequencies and vibrations that we are actually working with as well, different dimensions. There's 3D, 5D. I mean, if you had to watch, what's that one with Doctor Strange, all the superhero movies, the Avengers and all of those things, I absolutely love them. And they talk about the multiverse or multiverses. We live in a world of multiverse. There's not just universe anymore, there's actually multiverse. We have dimensions and veils in between all the lives that we are actually living. And it can go deep and it can go super deep. But to try and understand it, you can drive yourself crazy and you have to go step by step by step. But the greatest part of this message, if I can actually say that now, is to learn to trust the process. Whether you understand it or you don't understand it, is to breathe. Learn to center yourself. I can teach you how to do that if you wish to reach out and join foundational developments, process and forward movement. That is part of our process, is to learn to center ourselves, learn to come down to earth, learn to simplify the moments we are in. There's so much going on within our own lives and societal terms and the work that we are doing. If you're working for a boss, if you've got families, we've got phones. Our phones are constantly messaging and telling us there's something to look at, something to distract us with, something that we need to focus somewhere else outside of ourselves. We still need to find ourselves within all of that chaos. And as I'm saying all of this stuff and dropping in bits of deep information, it's not as complicated as we're making it out to be. So the message in this is also to lighten up a little bit, to relax, to bring more play into your life in the sense of lightening up, playing games, playing with your friends, play games with your friends, go dancing, and that is part of what my on-the-ground business is bringing play into the adult world, in a sense of enjoying each other's company, learning how to have conversations again, learning to go deep without feeling scared, learning to learn that we are actually all emotional beings, trying to understand what this whole point in life actually is. So the point in life is about mastering yourself, within all of this information of stuff, life, bosses, work, families, instant gratification. I mean, there's a list of things that I can make up what we're actually all trying to achieve on this earth, and to actually within those spaces of chaos, find your inner calm. Reel yourself in, bring yourself towards yourself, ground yourself, understand that you are here on life, here in this life, on this earth, as I try and put my words together, to master yourself. That's the simple of it, as complicated as it is. The simple of it is we are here to master ourselves. There is no right and wrong in a sense of, in anything actually. You know, you can make the wrong a big thing in your life. You can make the right a big thing in your life. You can make the in-between grade area a story in your life. You can make a story out of anything. To make a story, to create the chaos, to now, within the middle and the confusion of everything that we actually create in our lives, to then remember we need to center ourselves. Centering ourselves is key. The point in life is to master ourselves. And if each one masters themselves within the chaos of everything going on, we will create a completely different world out there. Forward movement, forward thinking, masters of self, walking hand in hand, living a completely different life of hopefully more happiness, hopefully a peaceful step-by-step movement forward, learning to trust that there is a reason and a purpose for everything going on. And it takes one, and then it takes another to join. That's 2. 2 plus 2 makes 4. 4 plus 4 makes 8. 8 plus 8, 16, and so on and so forth, before we suddenly have a community and we have teams of people working together, open in the understanding that we are moving forward with a purpose in life to master ourselves. Mastering ourselves. With the trust there is something greater going on. There are many, many beings, many, many things, so much of everything involved in what this little aspect of me is doing on this earth. And your little aspect of you is doing and has a piece to the puzzle. Each and every little aspect and little soul and little dot of a human being on this planet are a piece to the puzzle of the greater picture. Call it the great experiment. Call it what you like. Things are happening. So how are you going to choose to move forward with what you know, what you understand, how you want to share with other people what you know, what you understand, because what you know, you can share with me. What I know, I can share with you, and so forth with the people next to us going forward. So I hope you've listened all the way forward, all the way to the end of this video. I do believe what I say is relevant and has relevance. And I do believe there are people out there that will resonate with what I'm saying. And hopefully we can actually start connecting and getting together and meeting. Reach out to me at livesmartfd@gmail.com. And let's get the show on the road. Forward movement, forward thinking, step by step, moment by moment, mastering ourselves.